Servus Freunde, my name is Jimmy Cage and today we're going, again.
We will forever be together on the long leading road of life, your love.
Such unique words.
What is it this time, buddy?
I haven't told you yet, but I'm getting married.
But that's great! Why such a face then?
I don't know. I don't think I'm good enough for her.
Whoa, hold your horses, man. Come on, what could not be enough? I mean, you don't drink.
Oh, I drink.
Okay, but you don't smoke.
I smoke.
At least you saved up some money.
No money, I'm broke.
Okay, but you know, true love comes from the inside. I firmly believe that you will forever be together on the long leading road of life.
How do you know those words?
Someone said them to me once. Servus Freunde, my name is Jimmy Cage.
And I'm Deniz, the Buddymeister.
And it's our continuing pleasure to review one Indian movie each week. And if you want to get early information on what we are working on, or vote on the next picks, or choose a movie directly for us, you can now head over to our newly launched Patreon at patreon.com/thejimmycage.
Who would have thought that the what to watch next recommendation that pops up on a certain streaming platform during the end credits of the movie that you've just seen doesn't always have to be a pain in the ass, but can actually be helpful and steer you in a very interesting direction. That is exactly what happened with us and Sreenivasans' 1989 Malayalam language comedy drama Vadakkunokkiyantram.
And it's also on our very long list of recommendations on Letterboxd, so we just went for it.
Vadakkunokkiyantram tells the story of Talatil Dineshan, the manager of a printing press who is burdened with insecurities about his short physique and dark complexion. After his marriage to Shobha, who is exceptionally beautiful and also taller than him, his life spirals out of control. His insecurities and his jealousy grow and his suspicions about Shobha become unbearable.
The title translates to compass, and just like a compass, Dineshan remains oriented in only one direction, which in this case is his pathological suspicion and jealousy, also known as the Othello syndrome.
But the interesting thing about Vadakkunokkiyantram is how it evolves and transforms from feeling like a light-hearted romantic comedy to becoming a psychological thriller.
I really like the simplicity. The story is really quite simple and pure. From the beginning we learn about Dineshan and the way he sees himself. In the very first scene we watch him as he evaluates himself in front of a mirror. And in the course of the next 2 hours it is just that character reacting to his new situation and that character slowly but steadily escalating until his insecurity, until this Othello complex is truly affecting all of his decisions and all of his behavior.
It's a step-by-step progression and you don't even really realize what's going on until a certain point where it becomes clear just how distorted Dineshan's perception is.
I was pleasantly surprised how much the movie committed to the psyche of our protagonist. For a very long time it feels like this rather nice little comedy, just like you said. It always has this dramatic core because we learn about Dineshan's insecurity right from the beginning, but the way the movie is unfolding and addressing that, it could just have stayed being a comedy.
And that is actually what I thought what it was going to be, a nice comedy about an insecure man and his clumsiness. And a lot of funny stuff is happening in the first hour.
Dineshan's insecurity leads to a lot of funny bits and some of them had me laugh out loud. For example, the whole thing with the picture he takes.
He tries to follow all kinds of suggestions given by his friend Talakulam, who doesn't seem to be that good of a friend, to be honest. More like someone who's actually looking down on him.
That friend suggests that Dineshan takes a picture of him and Shobha and hangs it up at home, so that she is always looking at it. And that's supposedly somewhat able to build a rapport with her new husband. Strange idea, but actually not that bad, to be honest.
Yeah, but when the photo is developed, Dineshan's face is all blurry and it looks ridiculous.
Things like that reminded me of typical sitcom humor. These small situations where Dineshan is always coming out looking rather silly. Most of the time it's played very dry, which makes it even funnier. There were just some little moments that were a bit too much. That he hides inside a closet and gets discovered is one thing, but how long they play that scene out is quite a stretch.
Yes, but through this strange strange transformation from comedy to drama, some scenes that are laugh-out-loud funny become rather serious and must be evaluated in another way after we know what's going on with Dinezhan. I laughed hard when he tells his jokes to Shoba. He laughs his ass off, but then we see a close-up of her face and she's actually more disgusted and probably thinking something like, what the hell, what's wrong with him?
That shows how good Srenivasan is in this movie. He does a terrific job in portraying this man. In his words, a small and dark man who doesn't deserve such a beautiful wife. He's very natural, playing it subtle and composed, and we move from liking him to disliking him and back again.
In his imagination, he's always the weak one. For example, when they watch a movie at the cinema and he compares himself to Mohanlal, this only leads to him becoming protective, which makes him look super insecure in the eyes of his wife.
The last 30 minutes are really strong, and even though they are a bit too directly speaking out what's wrong with Dinezhan in the end, almost like it's 1960s Psycho for an audience who was new to this kind of psychological things portrayed in a movie, it still keeps the human drama, and Dinezhan really comes across as a tragic figure we are rooting for.
And I didn't see anything like that coming. It's all done in a very smooth way, unraveling slowly in front of you, through the acting and the narrative. It's not like Vadakkunokkiyantram is directed in any special way, rather the opposite.
Yeah, until the very end the majority of the movie is filmed in a rather mundane, uninteresting way, which might be argued to fit the story and the slow build-up, but it's really not that interesting to look at. But that's just slight criticism.
It's true, but I still felt some kind of comfort in the setting and environment, even after Dinezhan's stalker turn. I don't know why, but this world that the movie creates is fascinating and compelling.
It's certainly one of the more extraordinary movies that we've seen. Part comedy, part drama, part psychological thriller, almost auteur-like.
And I'm very eager to watch more of Sreenivasans' work. I mean, he did not only star in Vadakkunokkiyantram, he also wrote and directed it. And as far as I know, he's most popular for his comedic performances, so who knows what we might find.
It was his directorial debut, and he only directed one other film 9 years later, so I think it's safe to assume that this story was really important for him to tell, and I think that shows in the movie. So, what would we say in German?
Vadakkunokkiyantram ist ein faszinierender Film, der seine Geschichte ganz langsam vor dem Zuschauer ausbreitet und Schritt für Schritt die pathologischen Merkmale der Hauptfigur offenlegt. Sreenivasans subtile Performance setzt dem Ganzen das Sahnehäubchen auf.
I give Vadakkunokkiyantram 7 out of 10. It's more like 7.1, but I don't do that.
For me, it's also 7 out of 10. And also more like 7.1. I know, boring.
എന്ത് പേടിക്കാനല്ലേ?
അയ്യോ.
Did you know that the actress Parvati, who played Shoba in this movie, stopped acting after her marriage in 1992?
She probably had a good reason.
Yes, all for the children.
Well, nice. So, what are your thoughts about the movie? Leave a comment and hit me up on Twitter, Instagram and Letterboxd simply at The Jimmy Cage.
And you can hit me up on Twitter at the Buddymeister.
You can also check out our newly launched Patreon account at patreon.com/thejimmycage to get more behind the scenes stuff and more ways to participate in our exploration of Indian cinema. And as always, if you enjoyed this episode, please give us a thumbs up, share, subscribe, whatever you like. And make sure you hit that bell for all we have to tell.